It's what an administrator or executor should not do when listing a probate home for sale. There's all sorts of things they should do, and a lot of things that we've seen that they shouldn't do. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Brendan Mohr, California Realtor and Certified Probate and Trust Specialist by the California Association of Realtors.
And I'm Bill Heyman. I'm a licensed professional California fiduciary. I'm also a licensed California real estate broker, a licensed Nevada realtor, and I'm a bonded and registered legal document assistant in both California and Nevada.
Now, please like our video right now, subscribe to our channel. Want your probate done for little to no cost? Well, every day we help people save thousands of dollars and eliminate headaches with our one-of-a-kind probate administration service and real estate listing combo. So please reach out to us about that, or reach out to us with any questions about probate real estate. Comment on this video. Our contact information is below, so please email, text us, call us, because we can help you. So, Bill, what should an administrator or executor not do when listing a probate home for sale?
That could be a pretty long list, Brendan.
Yeah, we've seen a bunch of stuff, and between the two of us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the obvious ones is that the executor or administrator, they should never sign a listing agreement until they have been appointed by the court and the letters have issued. You've got to have those letters issued before you sign a listing agreement.
If not, then the listing agreement isn't valid. And who knows, maybe the person signing the listing agreement is not who was appointed by the court. By the court.
Could be.
Now, another one to piggyback on that one would be signing a purchase agreement, being an offer that has come in for the house before your official court appointment. That is not valid, and that will not go through. You will, there's all sorts of costs that you could cause a buyer. They could be going through their inspections and their appraisal and lots of other fees, planning their move, and all of that is void at the end. And then there could possibly be, this isn't legal advice, but there could possibly be some damages from that.
Sure.
So that is something to avoid.
Absolutely. Another one is you don't want to try to close the sale of a probate home without using the notice of proposed action form and process. That's required, and a title company is going to require that particular aspect of the probate escrow be taken care of. So you have to do the notice of proposed action if you have full authority, which most of the time they do. But yeah, you got to use that. It's an absolute, the court requires it, the title company requires it, everybody requires it. So if you try to get a sale closed without it, you're not going to close.
Yeah, and it's something to follow up on with your agent, whoever is probating the estate, about those particular documents. Those need to go out, and you need to be on that immediately.
Yeah, there's been occasions, I know Brendan and I work together a lot on probate, and Brendan handles the real estate side of it. I have worked a few other probate sales with other agents, and when I say to them, talking to them over the phone, and I say, did the attorney get the notice of proposed action form done? And when the real estate agent says to me, what's that? I kind of roll my eyes a little bit and go, oh no, we're working with an agent who doesn't know probate.
And a lot of agents have never worked in probate. We get it a lot. I get a lot of calls from agents, and a lot of agents watch our channel, so thank you. And if you're an agent and you do have questions, reach out to us. You know what? I really love it when agents actually comment on our channel and ask questions. Yeah. I may not get back to them, within the hour or something, but I love the questions, and I really love to answer them.
And we want to help agents, so please, feel free to contact us. I'd rather help an agent out there than have one call me, like I said, and when I ask them about the notice of proposed action, they ask me, what's that? Ask ahead of time so educate yourself. It'll help you, it'll help us, it helps everybody. So.
Right, even though we do probate, and you do a probate administration service all over the state, and I help with the real estate sale all over the state of California, we get lots of questions from people who are currently using somebody else, or agents, and we're just here to help.
Yeah, absolutely.
We want everybody to get through the process.
Yep.
This next one is kind of a long one, and we've seen this a few times, and this really goes for any sale, but for some reason in probate, a lot of the times sometimes we're dealing with an administrator who has never owned real estate or sold real estate, or recently, and a lot of times people forget certain protocols and the right processes, and what an agent's role is and what their role is. And a lot of times there's an heir involved who is not the administrator or executor. Maybe they're living in the home. Maybe they like to check up on the home. And a lot of times they've never owned real estate either, or never been a part of the process. Sometimes they know a little bit, so much that they're dangerous in a way, or they think they do. And that is having direct contact with potential buyers. In the world of real estate, whether you're in a probate situation or not, a buyer should really never meet the seller or the family. From a psychology perspective, even, if you're familiar with real estate a little bit, you know that usually agents say like taking down the personal photos. And it's because of the psychology of it. A buyer wants to walk through the house and not see somebody else living in the house. When you're selling the house and somebody is viewing the home, made an appointment to see the house with their agent, vacate. You don't want to be there. I've shown several clients homes before where people have not vacated, and I've had 0 clients like that house. It makes it really awkward. But we've seen situations where it actually cost the estate.
It did. Yeah.
And we've seen it. We've seen it a few times where it was problematic because an heir ran into the buyer and made promises that they didn't have the ability to do, the authority to do, about maybe doing things with the home before or after, things coming with the home, repairs done, and that got into the buyer's head. Oh, well, this is going to happen, so I'm going to continue with this sale. And then when that didn't happen, then you got
it's a promise not kept, and that's why, Brendan, with real estate. You can talk about, if you want, the proper way to disclose everything to the potential buyer. There's a proper way to do that in writing, and isn't that the way it should be done? Yeah,
and we don't make any promises, and verbal promises. We do it all in writing. So if only the administrator should be working directly with the real estate agent, and then the other side should be negotiating with the real estate agent. And if they want certain repairs, and you may understand that in many cases, there won't be any repairs in probate. A lot of times there's nobody to do the repairs, or the estate doesn't have any money. But let's just say they want a repair or a credit to their closing costs because of some condition they found in inspections. That negotiation goes to the real estate agent. Now, we've just seen it where maybe an heir or the administrator ran into the buyers and promised them something that they couldn't actually do, and it ended up really harming the process later on. So just please never do that.
Yeah, it's always best, as Brendan said, not just in a probate sale, but in any real estate sale. It's really best for buyer and seller to communicate with each other through their respective agents. That's really the best way.
So let's go on to another one here. How about stopping paying the mortgage?
Yeah, that's really, you don't want to do that. You don't want to stop paying the mortgage. I've discussed this in other videos, but I'll mention it here, that a lot of people are under the impression that because it's in probate, they can't foreclose, and that's completely false. Just because you're in probate, that does not stop foreclosure. So you should continue to make mortgage payments unless it's going to be a financial hardship to the family or heir or administrator who needs to make the payment, if there's no money available to do it. But if there's money available to do it, it's not going to cause a financial hardship. Keep making those mortgage payments, because even though you might be in contract for a sale, that could fall out of escrow and you might have to go back on the market. And you don't make those payments for 3 months, and they may start the foreclosure process on you.
Yeah, and you don't want to wait until there's a notice of default. Whereas there's certain things that could possibly delay the foreclosure, the sale date, such as if you actually got your home into escrow with a buyer, maybe. But the lender or whoever is actually being paid is often just the mortgage servicer, and the note is maybe for the mortgage may be owned by an individual. And we've seen that many times where it's an individual who actually is the beneficiary, the trustee of of that mortgage there, and it may just be that one individual's decision. Like, I'm not going to wait. You haven't been paying me for a year, and they might just be mad. So you want to try to continue those if you can. Absolutely. But we understand that we've seen it lots of times where there is backed up payments, and that can be fine, but
it's just better to continue to pay the mortgage payments if you can. It's always better. And Brendan, that kind of dovetailing on that one. What about insurance on the home?
Oh, not paying the insurance? Yeah. Oh yeah, and then the policy gets canceled, and then maybe something bad happens to the house, for example. Yeah, that's one as well. A lot of times probate homes are vacant. I mean, we've seen one where a tree fell on the house, and now there's no insurance policy. So what happens? So you want to continue to pay the insurance.
Yeah, and again, dovetailing on that, what oftentimes I've seen happen is, mom or dad will pass away, the home is vacant, the family continues to pay the insurance policy without telling the insurance company that the homeowner passed away. In that situation, it's my understanding that if there's a claim on the home, insurance claim, it's probably not going to get paid because you didn't inform the insurance company that the property owner passed away. Even though once you do that, they'll probably cancel the policy, and you should go out to an insurance company and find there are special policies where they'll insure a home that's vacant that has a deceased property owner. It's getting harder and harder to do that, but you still should do that.
Now, similar to that, I suppose, both insurance and really the mortgage payment. What about stopping paying the property taxes?
Yeah, that again, I would. The same thing I said about the mortgage payments. If you can make those property tax payments, it's not going to cause you a financial hardship, or there happens to be money available for the state. Yeah, continue to make those property tax payments. Although I will say property tax payments are one that a lot of people, estates administrators, don't pay because it's actually quite a while before the property tax collector will actually start foreclosure. I think it's 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
But there are penalties if you don't pay the property taxes. It's like a 10% penalty, and although it might not be that much, depending on your property tax level, it could be a significant sum. And again, you're not protecting the estate assets for the heirs by accumulating late fees. So again, if you can make the payments, it's not going to cause a financial hardship. Bam.
A lot of times it's included in the mortgage payment. So
Correct.
If you're able to make the mortgage payment, you're paying the property taxes in a lot of cases.
That's true.
But also, if you're paying the mortgage payment, you're often paying the HOA fees if there is an HOA. Yes. And that is far more problematic actually than the property taxes.
Yes.
We've seen it where there was a home in probate where there were 2 HOA violations. It was something really minor with the landscaping and the fencing. But because it had been so long and they weren't paying the HOA fees, the monthly fee, they were being charged a penalty for not paying the monthly fees plus $50 per day per violation. I think there were $18,000 in HOA fees on that one. And it had been referred to the collection agency.
Yes.
And it had been referred to a collection agency, and a collection agency actually buys the debt. So they are less sympathetic. Mm-hmm. They want their money. They can be maybe negotiated with a little bit, but it's better if you're negotiating with the HOA company over the situation, but keep up on what is going on with the HOA, especially if there's violations. You want to clear those.
Yes, you do. You do. Yeah, and you're correct. HOAs can be very problematic in these situations. Very
Definitely.
So. Yeah.
I thought of one more, and this is kind of a big one, and we've talked about this in our other videos, but something that an executive administrator should not do when selling a home in probate is delay.
Yes. Very good. That's a very good one.
Time isn't on your side.
No.
And we've oh gosh, there was one situation where we saw where it probably cost the estate over $100,000 because the home was a beautiful home, but the landscaping started to go bad. The pool was turned green, and the pool equipment became faulty because of the bad water going through the filter system. The AC was left on, just kept running and running and running, and was not being maintained. Different other parts of the home kind of fell into disarray, and then they're paying for the mortgage the entire time, and all that interest there, and the property taxes and the utilities, and because of all that and how much they had to fix, it cost that estate a lot of money. They waited a couple of years, 2.5 years, I think, for that one.
Wow.
And
yeah, well, I mean, I agree 100% with what you're saying, but the only thing I'll throw in for what it's worth is, especially in probate, but in any real estate sale, but especially probate, delay never helps you, ever, in any situation. Delay only hurts you, and it likely is costing you money. So
whether or not you're taking care of the property or not, there's significant reasons to not delay.
Yeah.
You want to get it done quickly, and if you've hired the right probate professional, person who is actually handling probate in the estate, whether that's an attorney or a probate administration service that Bill does, you want somebody that's going to do it fast. And Bill does it very quickly. And I would say that is maybe a video that you should watch next. And it goes into Bill's service and other types of service out there. It's called How Much Does Probate Cost in California? We break it down to how much it costs with different types of services, from attorney, probate administration service, or doing it yourself, and all the problems or benefits from there. And we have it linked next. It's going to appear right over.